Well, it's a short road test video for a Mitsubishi Shogun. The car's registered NK06WWA. It's obviously a diesel auto. Mileage at the start of this road test is 62,959 miles. The reason we do the road tests is basically because we're selling to customers from all over the near continent and extremes of the UK. We just want people to see the cars in operation and on the roads that you'll be test driving the vehicle on, and just give you a brief feel for the car, and obviously hopefully give you the confidence to come and see us and the car itself. Just to give you an idea, the car's literally just been delivered to us from a Prestige main dealer where we bought the car, and the drivers raved about how nicely it drove. But I'll just give you a quick outline on this of the main mechanicals of the car. Engine started on the button for him and started the same as me. Idles absolutely smoothly. Lovely punchy engine. It's got diesel, but it's got a nice note about it. It's not harsh, and you know what noise comes in is very well muted indeed. Worth pointing out, there's no warning lights on the dashboard relating to the engine or anything else for that matter. But it's a really strong engine. You know, it suits the size and weight of the car, because this is a proper four-wheel drive. It's there's a big four-wheel drive change down here. This isn't come some soft road that you see, or these SUVs kicking about now, which are basically glorified cars. This, like the Land Cruisers we sell lots of, is a tough outfit and very, very highly regarded. Obviously, low mileage one means that there's the potential for a lot of life in this car, for many years of good use. But a lovely spec car. Say engine's really great. There's no noises that shouldn't be there. There's no whines or whistles or vibrations. The noises that make it exactly as it should be. It just pulls away harder than I should do, but really well. Loads of kind of oomph and thrust to it. The gearbox, typical Japanese auto box, very, very nicely done. You can tell it's been engineered to a very high standard. There's no clunks or bangs or thuds that shouldn't be there, which would be a sign of wear in the transmission. It's very, very, very nice quality of gear change there. I do the same as anybody should do when you look at an auto, especially in something as big as this. Put it into neutral, then sort of select drive and reverse quite quickly, and just see if there's any delays when it engages its gear. But there is none. It selects quietly without any thumps. So engine and gearbox, I can't fault at all. Steering on the car tracks absolutely bullet straight. There's no vibrations coming back through the steering wheel at this or motorway speeds, as the driver just found out. It actually steers really nicely for a big car, and that isn't always the case. Some cars of this type can be sort of quite wandery in the way they drive. But this has got a precision. It drives and feels sort of not as big as it is, if that makes sense. It's got a real nice precision about it, where you can kind of place the steering very nicely, and I can't feel any detectable wear in the steering. Again, when I'm steering like this, I'm just feeling out for kind of a bit of slop in the steering or through the suspension, and there is none. It's tight, it's crisp. It suggests that track rod ends and columns and racks are all in very, very good order. Also, the suspension rides really, really well. It's a very comfortable car, and again, there's no clonks or rattles from underneath. Where you get sort of rubber bushes or commonly kind of anti-roll bar links chattering away underneath, but it's all really, really, really nice under there. But it does have that feeling of kind of heavy engineering, which I really love on these cars. Although I found my first fault, bugbear of mine, a smeary windscreen wiper, so we'll get that changed straight away. And that is the point of this test drive as well. If I do pick up on anything, whether it be as trivial as that or something bigger, then we do attend to them straight away. Brakes on the car, I don't know, well, like this car's turning, just lovely solid brake pedal, no pulsing or grinding from the brakes. They feel strong, powerful, and it's pulling dead straight. As I drive along, I also listen out for kind of wind noises that shouldn't really be there, that, which suggests that you might have a sort of a parasail or something on a window or otherwise, but it doesn't. It's quiet, it's smooth, and drives very, very, very well. I mean, it's only really, in this kind of price range, the Shoguns and the Land Cruisers that we sell are, in reality, they're kind of a different league to the kind of the other four-wheel drives. They're softer versions, but if you want the vehicle to do work, these ones are really the ones to go for. Looking around inside the car, it's all in very nice condition in here. So it's not been touched, not been valeted. It will be, obviously, but at this stage it hasn't, but it's a good place to see it. Everything I've pressed thus far has worked absolutely fine. It's a it's a dead simple dashboard, very well built actually. They use shiny hard plastic, so that doesn't mean it's not well built, because all the switch gear and everything else is in really lovely order. And you only have to look at some of the kind of the Germans, notably Audi and BMW, and see how quickly their paint comes off a lot of their switches. It's diabolical, really. But all these work really nicely. Nice, it's got a good quality feel to it. Nice, dead easy system up there to use for ventilation. Gives you your information display up there. Just come back down the road now. Just going to accelerate a bit harder. But lovely smooth engine, lovely gear changes, really, really fabulous. That's up to the legal limit. Just going to set the cruise control, just make sure it all works fine. Just going to slow it down. It's fine. Speed it up. So that's fine. So cruise control works absolutely perfectly. Steering wheel's in lovely order. It's got this obviously the leather and wood on it, but it feels really nice, chunky in my hands. Dashboard, a real kind of, I like it. It's a real kind of old school Japanese. It's very, very functional indeed. But all the gauges work absolutely perfectly. Pixelation on the readouts are perfect. Temperature's a third of the way up the gauge, which is exactly where it wants to be on this type of car. But it drives really, really well. So if there's anything I can pick up on, I always do on these road tests, so I can sort of feed them back to you. And so the only thing I can feel at this stage or sense is obviously just the wiper blade on that side. Other than that, we've got a car here that drives exactly as it should, but it just you could drive sort of 3 or 4 and they'll drive okay, with just the signs of wear and tear. We drive this one, it's got that real tight crispness about it. It comes from very good ownership, which this car's clearly had, and servicing. But obviously it hasn't been used, from what I can see here, as a lot of them are, unfortunately, where they're kind of used for kind of sort of semi business work, where you get sort of farmers or builders using them, and unfortunately the nature of their businesses, they drag a lot of, sort of dirt and rubbish inside the cars and they look quite worn, whereas this has a feel as exactly as it is, where it's been given kind of lighter duties than the cars are capable of withstanding. So all in all, I can wholeheartedly recommend it. So if you're coming any distance, you'll be coming to drive a very, very, very nice example of this really, really sought after car. Obviously, if I've missed anything out on this road test, I do apologise. Don't hesitate, do give us a call and we'll answer any questions you may have about the vehicle. But as I said, based on what I've driven on the vehicle so far, as you've seen on the video, it drives exactly as it should.